and collectibles. Here's Sean Dunston, and he fouls it back. Here are your hosts, Imran Pilati, Tim Big Shep Shepler, and Kevin Michael Waddy Gleason. Holy cow!
Thank you, Harry Carey. Welcome to the True Sports Card Show. Big Saturday. We got so much to talk about, and we can't go any further before I introduce, of course, the star of the show, the one and only. Got to check his name again. Imran Pilati. Yeah.
I want to share something with you.
That?
As a high schooler at Stagg High School in Stockton, California, I was very good at one thing, which was cutting class.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that the guy who was my teacher said, in-arm polio. Is she still in this class? That's how often I went to school. And I graduated.
In-arm polio?
That's what he said my name was.
Your new name.
In-arm polio. Yes, that's right. Not only that, but I was senior and junior class president, believe it or not. True story.
I believe that.
Yeah, so I was the guy that cut class, yet represented our school.
You got that charisma.
I do. And that's why we're here at the True Sports Card Show every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Yes, yes.
Good morning. Good to be back. It's been about a week. You guys held down the fort while I was gone.
Oh, we had a blast.
I listened to it. I enjoy every short joke that you guys make. It's so weird because I'm not short. I'm average height. I'm 5'9". The fact that you guys are abnormal monsters and you're 6 foot somethings each doesn't mean that I'm the one that's out of line.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think I made that many short jokes. I might not have made any, but Shep just once he gets
can't
going,
stop.
Look out.
Hey guys, I got jokes for you. Let me tell you some jokes about Emirates height. We've got Kyle actually sitting right next to us here instead of behind the window. Yeah, he's not in the window. Author of a Spurs Dynasty, the Spurs Dynasty.
Yes. Hi. Full house here today.
He just signed my copy of the book.
That's
I bought
great.
one for you too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, he wouldn't sign it though. He says, I charge per.
Yeah.
I was like,
Right.
I have a fee.
I have a fee.
Mhm.
So we have Anthony behind the window that's helping us out today. We've got Kyle here. We've got even our old producer Nate is here in house, just kind of spending some time with us too. Right after this, we're going to.
I knew who it was.
Yeah,
Like,
you
hey,
look familiar.
bro, and I can't remember who it is.
The guy with the blonde hair.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be blonde, but I think he just kind of messed up.
People were saying he was my son after he got his hair dyed. Right? Someone said that.
Verlad said that.
Christopher Laud said that.
Yeah, that's the truth. Are you going to the show after this?
Yeah, big
Okay.
show today. It's one of the many things we got to
Who could
break
forget?
down today. Yeah.
Who could forget? The Sacramento Card Show is happening right now. Feel free to go to it. It's off of Madison, off the 80 at the Wyndham Hotel. Our team is already there. We've got AJ and Big Shep there right now. They've been there bright and early. We spent some time over there. I just gave them some really big cards to sell. We have a couple Bill Russell numbered 25 autograph cards.
Wow.
Yeah, we're in the thousands of dollars for those cards. So those are available. I brought in a Willie Mays on-card autograph Topps refractor over there.
Say hey.
So we've got those cards and many, many more, and we will be buying. So right after this show, we're going to be headed to the card show. Myself, you, Nate, we'll all go over there. And I think I have a True Sports Card shirt for you to wear, so you're going to get to work if it's okay with you.
Yeah, I'll circle back to you on that.
You'll
But
negotiate the deal.
The sad thing is you're talking about Bill Russell and Willie Mays and Kyle and Nate. They're going,
I don't know who this Willie Mays
know
is.
who that is.
I work at a radio station. I have no clue what this is.
I'm sure you know who it is. I'm just kidding.
You want to talk a little bit about this team that keeps winning?
Yeah. Can you
Have you guys
believe
talked
it?
about them before this week?
We weren't gonna until they won 6 in a row. So now we're gonna talk about those.
Let's talk
things.
about them.
Yeah. How about 3 straight impressive wins without De'Aaron Fox? Not to open a can of worms, but that's something.
National media out
It's
there. Do we
something.
really need De'Aaron? Do we really need De'Aaron? Of course we need De'Aaron. They are playing out of their minds. They're playing so hard for Doug Christie, and we're feeling it in the shop as well. People are coming in. They're asking for cards. They're actually asking for Doug Christie cards.
I was gonna ask about that.
And strangely enough, as you guys know, I've been doing a rare card reveal every single time the Kings have been winning. And I'm going to continue that whether there's a streak or not. But a couple of days ago, I posted the superfractor of Doug Christie, and people clamored. They've been bugging me. It's a 1-of-1. It's out of 2004 Topps Chrome. And they were like, is that for sale? Is that for sale? I mean, if it was for sale, which it's not, it would be in the thousands. But I think this is the highest demand of Doug Christie cards in 25 years. He's just something special about him right now.
Is that kind of the early days of superfractors? Or,
Yeah. Well, superfractors have been around for decades, but yeah, that's kind of when they really started to come into play. The guy that sold it to us, a great listener of this show,
There you go.
and a listener of the Drive Guys, came in, sold me 11 superfractors, including they were all Kings. I talked a little bit about it on your show, and it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. Bought Bibby's, bought Bobby Jackson's, bought Weber's. So
see, now you're being a tease because people are hearing that like, ooh,
yeah,
I want some of that.
Today I released the Weber
right.
Masterpiece 101 out of Fleer Mystique. I showed that today, and I'll keep showing them as the Kings keep winning. We're at 500.
I know. 9th in the West right now.
Yeah, we did. It sounds like the old days. Oh, we made 9th in the West. We did it. We're going to hang the Pacific Division champion banners up once again.
Yeah.
Summer League champions banner.
And the Warriors are just falling apart, so they're dropping. There's a spot open.
What I love about it is they both have the same record now. 19-19, both teams as of today. You don't need to fact check that. I already did it.
But the Kings have the tiebreaker.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Tie goes the runner.
If the playoffs started today, which let me check.
It doesn't.
They don't. But that would be your first round play-in matchup.
9 versus 10.
Golden State versus Sacramento.
No. It would be 10-7 and 8-9.
Not the way it works. Not the way it works there.
That is not how the play-in works.
7 plays 8. Winner moves on. Loser plays the 9-10 winner. 9-10 loser is gone.
You know what's crazy? Later in the show, we're going to talk about the importance of being accurate. Let's go ahead. Can we edit this out, Kyle?
No, we cannot.
No? Okay,
This
we're
is
live.
We got it. We got your back. We covered it. We're right.
Thank you. Anyways, so yes, that's exciting that the Kings keep winning. What's next on the schedule? Who's next?
The Chicago Bulls tomorrow afternoon, and then the
light work.
The Milwaukee Bucks to wrap up the road trip on Tuesday.
If you could beat the Celtics, you could beat anybody. I mean, really. And they were full strength, if I'm not mistaken. They had Porzingis. They had everybody on.
They were missing a couple guys, but not their main guys.
Who?
Larry Bird didn't play.
Report on that. Tell us about that. You put out a tweet a little while ago.
Yeah, we know that Wednesday on his podcast, Brian Windhorst was kind of downplaying the Kings' winning streak because he was saying, look at the teams they beat. You know, Luka wasn't there and Kyrie wasn't there when they beat Dallas, and he went down the list, and they got confused on whether Steph played or not. It got kind of convoluted. But to me, clearly he was trying to say, it's not as impressive as it sounds. So last night, after the Kings won, right after they won, I just, on X, I said, Brian Windhorst will be quick to point out that Larry Bird didn't play. And people just, it's got like, last I checked, 960 likes or something like that.
Is that the most likes you've ever had in your life?
I think so.
In real life
other
and
than personal, things. But I just really resonated with Kings fans who were so, upset by that, I think. It wasn't that funny. I was like, what? So
I enjoyed it. I thought that was a great tweet. And it's totally true. I think the national media constantly looks for things to pick at because, let's start the conversation. Let's say something controversial or something that's kind of, you know how that goes.
Yeah. I think and Windhorst is probably one of these people who's a friend of Mike Brown. So some of it is like sticking up for Mike Brown in a way, but it's like, that's not really your job here. That's great if he's your friend, but you're supposed to tell us what's going on and why it's going on. And,
it's really interesting going back to the card portion of it. When you have a native king, as in they were drafted and they've been a king their entire career, they have such interest because their cards from their rookie cards forward are all in Kings uniform. De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray, etc. Although one of the hot ones that should be selling that doesn't sell as hot as I'd like him to is Malik Monk. And it happens because he started as a Hornet.
Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah, so when he was drafted in 2017, same year as De'Aaron, all of his stuff is in Charlotte gear as far as rookies, because that's obviously what you want to collect. So it's really interesting that we'll have Malik Monk rookies in the store, but yet people go, that's kind of cool. Hey, do you have any ones of him wearing a Kings uniform? Because that's more collectible. People want that. And even though it may have more value in the rookie cards, it just has more to do with the fact that they're a natural king. Same with Sabonis.
Right.
With him wearing an OKC Thunder outfit on his rookie cards, people like it and will ask
that's
for it.
when he's holding the jersey.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. So they'll have that, but they really want him wearing Kings gear. That's why it's such a great thing that Keegan is now starting to kind of recover and get back into being more Keegan than he's been
I think
before.
he's been hurt all year, and he's probably still a little hobbled, but I think that's a big reason why there's a lot going on right now, obviously, but I think that's one of the big
He's
reasons.
seen a massive drop in his values. And if you're a Kings collector, if you're a Keegan fan, now's a perfect time to pick him up because he's very affordable.
Yes.
I mean, we sold a Keegan Murray autograph card the other day for $20.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, oof is right because I was probably paying $40 or $60 for it at the time. But when you see a drop and you really are a fan of a player, that's where you go. The other one that's really seen an uptick as far as interest and pricing is Keon Ellis. Oh, people come in constantly, and we have some in the store right now in the price points of under $15 for autographs.
Wow.
Yeah, of autograph cards that are the unlicensed version, like Leaf or Press Pass. We have a couple of those, and he has a really simple signature. KE is all he puts on there.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. But anyways, those are the ones in demand right now, as well as Keegan Murray. But it's great to see the Kings getting back on track.
How much for my Hito rookie card jersey thing? Was it Upper Deck Locker Room or something?
I don't know who Hito is, but I do know who Hidiet Turkoglu is.
Oh, that's the guy.
His rookie year, he went by Hidiet.
Yeah.
You idiot! You are a idiot. Turk.
It's not for. I think last time I checked, it was like $8 or something.
He's some sort of big deal back overseas now. Like he's a governor or a
Really?
yeah, something like that.
I'll have to look into that.
Big.
Mm-hmm.
If only we had something called Google, we could look it up.
Yeah, we have it sometimes sporadically.
You personally never go into your internet while you're on the show.
I do on my phone sometimes.
No,
I have Weigel. I don't need Google, and that's just I have my notes.
Weigel. Weigel is the curled up pieces of paper.
I got it right here somewhere. Yeah.
Get back to this. All right. So, what do you want to talk about with cards today?
I want to ask you this real quick, and I know this is kind of off the board, but we got a lot of playoff games today. Can I get in on rookie cards of any of these great quarterbacks that are playing this weekend? I did some checking here. The Athletic had a look at
this. Two games tonight or one?
I
know for sure that the Ravens
2 today, 3 tomorrow, and then 1 Monday.
They moved the LA game to Monday night.
But it's still they moved it, but it was going to be on Monday. They just moved where they're playing.
Got it to Arizona.
Yeah. And I saw this, and this is something I think people should know about. Jaden Daniels, you can right now, according to this, Yemrin, you tell me, you could get a Panini Prism Silver raw $435 for him.
I'm doing research while you're talking.
You could also get a Bo Nix. You know, the guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. If you can afford it, great, but they're really pricey now. But Bo Nix, 2024 Panini Prism Silver raw, $275.63. So there are still some of the guys that look like they're going to be, potentially big name quarterbacks in the future.
What did you have on Jaden Daniels?
This is
We're talking about Prism 2024 Prism Silver.
Yes, it's
the Athletic
right
is reporting card stuff now.
Yeah,
when did that happen?
They've been doing it for a while. Jaden Daniels, rookie card values 2024 Panini Prism Silver raw, not graded, $435.19.
One closed today at $265.
See, that's doable, right? If you
absolutely, it's doable. Here's the interesting part about it.
Even I could afford
if you do some research, guys, listeners. If you're doing some research and you see something that closes on auction, first of all, here's what we need to know and keep in mind. And again, we're going to talk about the responsibilities of journalism, including card stuff. Because I listened to a podcast this past week. It was absolutely terrible with the wrong advice. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what I'm getting at is when you're first to market, you're going to set a tone. So, for example, what you said, why do 400 and how much? 65 or something like that?
Jaden Daniels, yes, $435.19.
Okay, so that was on auction. Obviously, the reason why is because it closed with 19 cents. Nobody would list it like that. At any rate, what I'm saying is that when you're first to market, you're going to set the market. You're going to be probably the highest price. The only chance that it may go higher is if Jaden Daniels goes really deep into the playoffs. Then it sees a huge rise, similar to what CJ Stroud did last year.
Right.
But now when you look and you see something that closed today, January 11th, best offer closed at $265 of the same exact card. That's kind of more of a normalization of the market because it's saying best offer. It means that the person that had it is like, I'm just willing to sell it at this price. I feel comfortable at that. And the buyer said, I'm willing to not go into auction. I'm just going to go ahead and accept this. Mm-hmm. If you have a fixed price, that's even more stability to the card. Best offer means that they took, let me see what they were asking for this particular card. They were asking for a little bit above 265. They settled on 265. But some cases, you're like, I'm selling for 300, no best offer. And if somebody clicks that button and says, I want it, then that's really the true market value.
Gotcha.
Because that means that the buyer says, I'm comfortable with this amount.
You're telling me something is worth what someone is willing to pay for it.
Believe it or not.
Yes.
I can't. Yeah. And what somebody's willing to sell it for.
Lamar Jackson, 2018 Donruss Optic Holo PSA 10, $850 is like the lowest I see for him. Josh Allen. Oh boy.
You're not talking about graded cards though.
Some of them are and some of them aren't. I don't know why.
That's the other thing too. We don't show the specifics on how the card. Is it off center? Is it a little bit off center?
No, that one was a PSA 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So PSA 10 Optic
Holo 2018. Yeah. $850 for Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen 2018 Panini Prism Silver PSA 10, $5,600. And Patrick Mahomes, forget about it.
Well, we'll see. They keep winning, but they don't win by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always one turnover that could change the entire fate and fortune of that team. What were they, 15-1 this year? Yeah. I mean, how many games were they? 15-2? Oh, yeah, there's 17 games. I forgot.
Yeah, because they lost the last game.
Yeah. See Nate out here fact checking us real time.
They lost to Buffalo and they lost to Denver. Yeah.
On purpose.
Well, to dodge the Bengals. So they wouldn't have to play Cincinnati.
They need to show New England how to do the same thing. Hey, guys, we need to lose. Anyways, they have that other guy, Joe the quarterback, cool Joe out there trying to win everything. Guys running around and throwing touchdowns and getting. We got to win.
Do you know if Cincinnati had just beaten New England week 1, they'd be in the playoffs. They lost at home week 1 to New England, and that's why they missed the playoffs.
That's right.
Anyway.
Sliding doors, baby.
Yeah.
What could have been. We've got a lot of people watching right now. This is I think they're realizing that Whitey Gleason's part of the permanent team now. Look at that, all these people joining us. Steve A, Peg Junk, Tin.
What up, Tim?
Amadrock
from Vallejo.
You got all your people.
Good. Welcome.
And one more thing I want to make sure that everybody stays till the end. We have a release of a new single by Whitey Gleason. He created a song last night. He texted it to me and he goes, hey, listen to it at your own convenience. No big deal. I was running around. I was doing some work.
He ghosted me for a long time.
It was at least 2.5 hours.
After ghosting me earlier on the other text I sent yesterday.
Oh yeah, you asked me about a product if we had it. No, I didn't have it, so I just figured if I ignored you, you'd forget about it. But it's a typical Whitey. You up? Text, and then he sends over this great song. We can't wait to record the music video. So,
that's nice.
Yeah, so when we have that, but we will be ending the show with the Whitey Gleason True Sports Cards theme song.
An homage to your store.
Yes.
And you. Yes.
The part about the kids. No, are they not in school?
I want to say, why aren't those damn kids in school? But I thought, nah, I don't.
Yeah. You would never want to say that, except for you just did on the radio.
Right.
Let's talk about a couple of new releases before we get started.
Let's do it. These are kind of high end stuff, right?
I guess you could call them high end. Well, a couple of them. But we'll start with Bowman's Best Baseball. 2024 Bowman's Best Baseball. It comes out next.
Yeah.
It comes out on Wednesday. It's going to be around $400. 4 chrome autographs per box. That's actually a lot.
Yes.
Normally you see 2 or less. And now we're at 4 chrome autographs with 2 base refractor parallels, 12 packs, 5 cards per pack.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever spent any time with some Bowman's Best? Have you ever done any Bowman's Best opening or buying, Whitey?
No, I have not. I've had some Bowman Platinum, but not Bowman's Best. That seems like that's the type of thing. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, that's a good product. Beautiful product. And a lot of times that these cards are going to be on card autographs.
By the way, speaking of Paul Skeens, he's on the picture there. You got Kyle wearing his Pirates hat, as I requested that he wear today.
Yes, Whitey and I are playing a game now where he requests hats, and if I have them, I'll wear them when I see it.
Yeah.
If we're playing with a request game, can you start wearing shorts that are a little longer? That'd be great.
Are you talking to me or what?
No, am I cross-eyed? I'm looking right at Whitey. Yeah, his shorts are always so short.
It's like 14 degrees outside.
The John Stockton shorts outside,
That's what we wore in my day. Sorry.
It's who we are. It's who we are.
Anyway, that sounds like, honestly, when you first said $400, I was thinking, oh, there's probably like 8 cards in the box. But that sounds like a lot of cards.
A total of 60 cards, and 4 of them being autographs.
That's great.
And a lot of them are on card. And when you talk about Bowman's Best, you're not talking about like prospects only. You're talking about real players that are in the majors right now. So Skeens is an example of that.
Is that a rookie card still for him? Or are we beyond?
I guess you consider, rookie card because it's 2024.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So anything Bowman is more of the first Bowman, the prospect.
Right.
But yeah, these are considered their rookie cards.
Does it say RC on there? I didn't notice.
Him and Ellie are
okay. Yeah. Jackson Merrill.
Yeah.
Who should have been rookie of the year.
Okay. Whatever you say. Here's the interesting part.
Yeah.
All the stuff is coming out after they've had their rookie season, which is wonderful because you know exactly who to collect. And as right this moment, 10:21 a.m. on Saturday, that Holy Grail card has still not been pulled out of Topps Chrome Update, the Major League debut. Somebody said something in theory, like, the conspiracy theorists, and they said, probably what happened. Somebody has it, and they've been buying all the boxes of Topps Chrome Update, and they're selling all of them to other people at an uplifted price, thinking that the Willy Wonka golden ticket is still available, but they have it.
Yep.
And they're monetizing on that. That's tinfoil stuff. Tinfoil hat stuff.
I'm all in on it.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. You're 100% right, but I'm 100% in. Like, yes, that's what's going on.
But the logic doesn't make sense because if they've pulled the card, it's already worth how much money again?
$1 million.
Exactly.
But it's worth $1 million. And they're going to get more from selling that. They're still making money off the Topps Chrome Update.
It seems like too much effort for not enough bang for your buck.
You should see what people do for a few bucks. I've seen it. I've been one. It's awful. So Bowman's Best Baseball Hobby Box comes out on Wednesday. So.
Question.
Yes.
A rookie card like that for whatever player it is, because they've already had rookie cards out, is that worth less because it's not his first rookie card?
I would say this. It'll settle into its value of its value. However, the newest, shiniest thing, as Shep always says, new and shiny, is the hot product. I'm crossing to a different sport, but when Wemby's, do you remember Mercury when it first came out? That was a really expensive $8,000 per box.
Or the card?
No, the card.
Yeah,
the card.
Because I remember when they discovered it, it was a big day.
I remember you were still in your teens.
Yes.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is that like Mercury was the hottest product, came out, Wemby autographs guaranteed into it, blah blah blah. Now it's still a great product, but people don't talk about it anymore because it's been the news cycle of 60 days. So what ends up happening is, what's the newest, shiniest thing? This will be hot. And I mean, most hot will be the Major League debut patch, which it'll come out when it comes out. But what's the newest and shiniest? Bowman's Best Baseball starting next week.
And then the other thing, putting the conspiracy theories aside, you may have that patch in your store right now in a box, right? I mean, you could.
We could. We only have one box left.
Okay, that's the one.
Just been whipping through this.
Sold.
Yeah. And people are using those CT scanners, which is hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
It's just grimy that people have been doing that. And it's just crazy that they really have to bring it to a hospital or some sort of medical place to scan a box of cards. I mean,
I don't really think that's what CT scans are for.
I don't think so. As a guy that's a cancer survivor myself.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, not for.
Yes.
Yeah. But we both experienced that. Let's talk about 23-24 Panini National Treasures basketball. Do you spend, these are some of the upper end products. Have you ever spent any time buying this kind of stuff?
No, I've just looked at it from afar. Someday.
Let me tell you, it's 1 pack per box, 10 cards per pack.
See, there you go. That's one of those, really high end.
Yeah, 4 autographs, 4 mem, 1 printing plate, meaning a 1-of-1 printing plate, and 1 base card. I'm going to look and see what the prices are. So we may carry this product, we may not. I don't know.
And there's no chance of a Wemby autograph, right? Because it's Panini.
Correct. 4 boxes in a case, $14,000 a case. So that if you divide that up, because they don't have individual pricing, so $14K divided by 4 is right around $3,500 a box. $350 per card on average when you're buying a box like that. Now, you look at it from afar. You're not a spender of $3,500 a box, is what you're telling me.
Not at this point.
No, not
maybe
until
next week. By next week's show, maybe things will have changed.
Things will have changed depending on what happens today at the Sacramento Card Show happening off of Madison. I feel uncomfortable at times selling these products to an individual buyer of. So let's start with this. If you're spending $3,500 on a box, you're probably at a budgetary scenario to where it's not going to, you're not going to, wither under a freeway if you don't hit. what I would tell you though is that these are really where breakers come into play because it creates an affordability aspect. Let's just say there's 30 teams, not let's just say there are 30 teams in the NBA.
Correct.
And
You got one right finally.
1 year and 3 months into the show, I've got a fact correct. And this is where a breaker says, hey, for, what is that? 3,500 divided by 30, whatever that number is. $120, something like that. You can get in and have a chance at a team in this box. And for $120, it's a lot more palatable for somebody to say that.
Right.
So, we'll open a box for you at $120, but that means that if there's 10 cards in that case, at best, 20 people don't get a card, which is ouch, right? So risk versus reward. But and I say at best because if there's 2 cards in there from the same team, there's even more people that are skunked or lost. But when you take something like that and you buy it for $120, this is what causes prices to fluctuate as far as values. So you talked about Jaden Daniels, $465. If everybody was just buying a box of $1,300 Prism, they'd go up, top dollar. I got to squeeze that out.
Yeah.
But when you're into a break for $50 or $60 or $70, and you hit a Jaden Daniels, if I'm playing with house money, a casino, free money.
Mhm.
I paid $60 for the spot. I got a Jaden Daniels silver. Let's sell it. I'll sell for $300. Meanwhile, the person that bought it for $460 is going, wait, why'd you do that to me?
Mm-hmm.
So breaking has its positives and its negatives. And I just gave you both sides of that pro versus con.
Mm-hmm. So your risk is lowered substantially. The reward is lowered, but not you still.
There's risk versus reward on both sides.
Right.
I could buy into this break for $120 for National Treasures and get nothing. Now I lost 120.
Yeah.
Or
I'm only losing 120.
Right. But I could hit a Wemby card and the card's worth $1,000 and I spent 120, which gives me a lot of equity for me to be able to say,
fine, I'll take 3 boxes. Is that what you want me to say?
This is the sales skills that I have here at True Sports Card Show. NT, great product.
But you're really not, that's interesting. You're not sure you're going to have them.
I don't know. And the reason why I say that is because even though I don't pack the boxes, Panini does, they're literally handing me and my team the money and I'm watching them open the box and I'm praying to the heavens above that they hit something massive because I'm rooting for my customers. I want them to win. Panini's already won when they sold me the box, right? Now it's about getting the customers to win. And my hope is that they open and rip something and get something incredible out of every box. I hope for it. I dream for it. I want them to win. That's why we don't open boxes because we never want to take the opportunity away from our customers. Although you could care less, you grab every box you can.
Right.
For you.
Right. Yeah. Great. I got a Dayron Sharp.
Better than Nighttime Sharp. Okay. So we've got people are asking questions. Oh, Banta the Young says, it would be funny if Whitey showed up next week with those 90s really long jean shorts like Kevin Smith. I think he means like Nelly or maybe even the way Weber and Fab Five used to wear their shorts.
Stay tuned.
Why are long pants long? Why are short pants short? Why are bushes bushy? There's these questions that have all come up in life.
Thanks, Banta.
Yeah. Let's see
I'll
here.
Consider it.
I'm looking at some of the stuff here. Great. GameStop seems to be the best option for 1 or 2 cards graded by PSA. Your thoughts? Did you know GameStop sells graded cards or even will grade your cards for you?
Yes, and you can sign up there and be, what is it, the MVP program, and then you get discounts on the stuff you buy there.
Not a big fan.
Really?
And the reason why is because you have people that are.
I haven't spent any money there. I've looked at them online.
Going to GameStop is like, and handing people your cards. I'm not bad mouthing GameStop. I'm just saying, like, you go to a specialist, right? We are a card shop that's PSA authorized dealer. There are other card shops that submit for PSA. It's better to go to a place that you trust that knows about cards rather than going to a place that doesn't know much about it. I mean, do you think that the regular average GameStop employee really knows about the condition and centering and the gloss and if there's paper loss or if there's, a printer defect? They're not going to look at it that way. They're going to say,
how does that, and I'm sure it does, but I'm just asking, how does that matter? Because they're not grading it.
Correct. I'll tell you this. If you're going to spend anywhere from $20 to $30 to get your card graded, it'd be kind of nice to have somebody with some level of expertise looking at it and going, do you see this flaw right here? I would tell you, Whitey, that when people come in and I'm in store, and our team is just as good as I am. I'm not saying it's just me, but when I'm doing it based on my experience, I'll look at the card and go, nope, the best this will get is an 8, and here's why. And people are like, oh, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
I just saved $30 by not having submitted and being disappointed. Some people just, I got a submission, I don't know, like 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, and it came in. When I say came in 5 weeks ago, I mean it arrived back in my hands. But there was a black Pandora downtown Patrick Mahomes. The card is probably $6,000 or $7,000 ungraded, and he submitted it to get it graded. And as I was looking at it, he'd already just dropped it off and says, "Go ahead and submit it." When you're sending something off like that, you hope that your customer gets a 10.
Is it a lot more to get it graded for something of that value?
Yes, because of the PSA operates off of its current raw value, and then they reevaluate it based on graded value, and they upcharge based on those facts.
Yeah.
All right. So I look, and there's a finger smudge real bad on the front of the card. So I called the guy. I said, I want to show you this. I'm going to send you a quick video. So I send him a video, and I go, see this finger smudge? I'm putting it on the light. I go, I'm going to wipe this down. I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to show it to you. So I clean it up, and I re-show him a video via text, and I submitted that, and it came back a 10. I didn't add any juice to it. I didn't put any wax on it. All I did was just take just a microfiber and wipe off the thumb mark, and it got a 10. What could it have gotten had it come back? Probably an 8. What's the difference between that card and an 8 versus a 10? I'm talking thousands of dollars. So spend a little time paying attention to your cards. Not only that, but what about having somebody with some level of expertise giving that a look too? That's important as well. So
gotcha.
Yeah. So I would just tell you that submit cards wherever you feel comfortable doing it. But I don't expect a GameStop employee, an expert of video games, to be able to be an expert in card submissions and giving you an idea of what's there. That's what we do for a living. You don't go see a foot doctor for a throat issue.
Okay.
Right?
Is that also, did you just answer the question?
I answer every question.
Why should I bring it to you to submit when I can just submit it on my own?
You can. And the great thing about it is when you send it with us, it goes in a batch, and we overnight it to PSA. I pay for insured shipping both ways. I ask for it to come back overnight as well. It's only coming from SoCal, so it doesn't take a long time, but I overnight it both ways because we all know that the issue is when it's in transit. When it's in PSA's hands, I feel a lot more comfortable about it. So I just wanted to get there as fast as possible. When you're submitting it on your own, whether it's 1 card, 2 cards, 10 cards, you're paying that insured shipping there. You're paying the insured shipping back. And often it's far more expensive per card when you do that than if you do a bulk sub with us.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So if you figure you're bringing in 20 cards in to get graded or more, we're at $20 per card for PSA. How can you beat that? Right. And we're going to help you make some decisions. And you also have an independent third party like ours going, why do you don't send that one in? Or this one you should send in. So that kind of stuff. And then there's some guys that you just send in no matter what. People go, should I send in this Jordan rookie card? It doesn't matter. You send it in no matter what. And we'll tell you because it's difficult. I buy Jordan rookie cards. It's my collection. It's my personal collection. And for me, I will not buy one that's not graded.
So you're talking about 86 Fleer?
86 Fleer, number 57.
Not the Star?
Star I would buy. I buy GOAT rookie cards that are graded. Period. End of story. That's what I want. And because those will always hold value. Ask anybody that has a Russell rookie, a Kuzi rookie, a Larry Bird rookie. I mean, those are the kinds of cards that just do not drop. They may see some fluctuation, but they'll be worth more tomorrow than they were today. And so why not just lock into those types of cards? It's just, when you look at some of these GOATs, look at the mantle. The mantle started at 150,000 on a 52. The last one sold PSA 10 for a little over $15 million.
15 million. I'm
Correct.
sorry, $15 million.
Correct.
Wow.
And yeah. So when you hold these GOAT cards, you're going to be in good shape. This is what you're looking for. We've got some more stuff here. We've got the next one, and we want to talk about is one that you texted me about last night. 2023 Panini Contenders Optic Basketball. Why did you ask about that one? And I'll give you while you're about to give the answer. 1 pack per box, 6 cards per pack, 1 auto, 2 parallels, 2 inserts. Why did you ask about that one specifically?
Because Contenders, Panini Contenders, I think they're really cool cards, but the paper, they're not very valuable. And each one is kind of like a ticket. So it's got a picture of the guy, and basically it's supposed to be a ticket.
So,
and I think they're cool.
Well, lucky for you, this is optics, so they're all chromium.
Right. That's the thing. Optic, they're even cooler looking and they're more valuable than the paper. And you get, what'd you say, an autograph?
Yeah,
right?
one autograph.
Yeah. But with only
Not
6
Wemby.
cards, I mean, you talk about the risk reward.
Yeah.
I love these cards, but with the risk reward, I'm it's probably still a little rich for my blood, but I think they're really cool looking cards.
What I enjoy about them is that many of them are on card autographs, which is great. I mean, that's obviously what everybody wants. They want a card that is actually signed on the actual card. Couple things about it we've talked about in the past. When you have an on-card autograph, that means that the player handled it, or at least it was in front of them, not a sticker, meaning that that card has to go through a process. It physically got to there where they were. We hope that they're signing on something that's soft, where often when I see players signing, they're signing it and then sliding it. If you watch the Brady 1-of-1 Superfractor that was in the Tops, I can't remember what product it was in Bowman Draft, the 1-of-1, he signed it. Fanatics recorded it and he slides it, and you can just see that it hooked on the tablecloth. And I was like, oh no, why did you do that? Just sign it and back away.
Right.
Back away and let the representative from Fanatics handle it.
Let the team in their hazmat suits come in.
Right. And so what I'm getting at is, like, when you get a Contender's Optic card graded and it comes back at PSA 10, there really should be a multiplier that's above a sticker version of it, because the physical card was in their proximity, and the chances of them having a gem mint after they've touched it, after they've handled the card, is more rare. So that's always a wonderful option. $325 is what it's going to be around.
Yeah.
6 cards per pack, $50 per card.
Really colorful.
Very much so.
Yeah,
With lots of color, reds, blues, numbers. Pretty cool stuff. And again, what you're looking for in that, everything but Wemby. There's no Wemby in there. No Wemby. I don't think Scoot's in there. I think Scoot's Scoot's a Fanatics exclusive. So you're missing, not that Scoot's.
Devin Carter.
Not yet. That's this rookie card. Hey, you almost got that right.
Yeah.
Good thing you're not hosting a radio show about sports cards. Last one I want to talk about. I love you, Whitey. Please don't yell at me in the car.
Why would I be in the car with you?
You're not driving me to the show? Oh. Can somebody call
miscommunication?
Somebody call my Lyft?
The Devin Carter's coming out in this month, though, right?
I believe
maybe
so.
Hoops.
Yeah,
maybe.
Hoops or draft picks.
Yeah.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I know we're a sports card show, but we do sell Pokemon in shop. This Prismatic Evolutions is something that is supposed to be the hottest Pokemon product in years. I'm getting demands like crazy.
What does that mean?
As far as
what
does demand mean?
Demand, but prismatic?
That's just some version of it. I don't know. Ethan and Donovan are the specialists in our store when it comes to Pokemon, and they said, Emron, buy as much of that as you can.
Okay.
We've got that coming out next Friday. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Elite Trainer boxes, meaning that there's like 9 packs in the box. This is how they're doing it. 6 Pokemon Prismatic booster. 9 packs. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff here. Whitey, I know that you're not a Pokemon master, although you tried to quiz me earlier about this. He goes, do you know what Pokemon stands for? And I said, Pocket Monsters.
You had to think about it. It took you a long time to. And I think you looked it up.
As I'm staring into your eyes.
I'm just kidding.
Pocket Monsters. And this is the hottest product.
Yeah. I don't know that much. I have nothing against it.
I don't know much
I just don't know that much about it.
Here's what I know. It's always in demand. We have people that walk into our store, even though we're not a Pokemon specialist store, and there are those out there. We try to keep as much of this in stock as possible. I have 5 cases coming, so I will have 50 boxes of these next week. They're quite in demand.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do my best, and that's also in addition to another one that's been pretty hot called Surging Sparks. That's another Pokemon version that we've been selling out pretty quickly here. But this product I keep hearing is Prismatic Evolutions. I had one dealer ask me if I had any coming, and he'd be willing to pay 4 times what I paid for it. So that tells you how much of a demand it is. And this is one of the people that really know this stuff inside.
A little more than a year ago, we were in Japan, Okinawa, and Kyoto, and we were looking for some Pokemon stuff. Very popular there, as you know.
Yeah.
That's where it originated.
Well, I remember when I had my first card shop back in 2000 in Stockton, Pokemon was, started in 99, 2000 during that time. And we had Charizards up the yin yang. Yin Yang, I think, is another character in Pokemon. And
that's my next song
Yin
title.
Yang.
Charizard's
up the Yin
Yang.
Yang.
Yeah.
There you go. So, the people say, well, why is it that people like Pokemon so much? I think it doesn't have the fluctuation the way that sports cards do. Pikachu ain't going to tear his ACL, right?
Good point.
Yeah, I don't think so. Charizard is not going to have a shooting slump. I don't think so. So I
don't even know. I was going to make it a joke, but I don't know the names of any of the characters.
Hitmonlee.
Hmm.
That's the guy.
Okay.
There's Hitmonlee, and who's the other guy? It's a playoff of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan or something like that. Yeah, it's just welcome to True Sports Car Show as we talk about these Pokemon characters.
We got donuts someplace in Japan, and they had my wife's cousin's wife. She got a
wife's cousin's wife.
Yes,
got it.
Yeah, Pikachu donut. They had that's what she had, a cookie or donut, giant
shaped
Pikachu.
in the.
Yes. But it was like the old Pikachu. It's like, oh, this isn't what he looks like anymore. It's like, okay.
It's interesting when you have when I have something that is in the shape of a thing, like a horse or a Santa Claus or whatever, I have a hard time eating that.
Really?
Yeah, especially like the head part. It's
interesting.
Gross. I would have to break up the Pikachu. I couldn't just go, oh, Pikachu cookie. Let me just bite his head off like a gingerbread man. It's just weird to me. You have no remorse.
I start with the head, baby.
Somebody clip that.
That way it can't fight back.
Yeah. I don't want to hear about it anymore. All right. So one thing I wanted to, we're on third base, rounding third base, heading home for a show.
Kyle's giving us a stop sign.
He's like, please.
Hold up at third.
I was thinking, okay, where are we going with this?
I've been listening to a lot of different podcasts. And as many of you know, we are the only radio show, I think, in the nation that covers sports cards on the radio on a national level. As far as the national level size station, I think our market's in the top 30, right? Roughly top 30 market. And there's definitely no sports card show out there, but there's a million podcasts and a lot of them are loud. And when I say loud, I mean, they have great distribution. Their numbers are pretty high. And I've been listening to a couple of them, and I've been really disappointed with the lack of research or responsibility when they're giving advice, because a lot of the people that come into my shop come and said, well, I heard on this podcast that I should do this, right? I heard on that podcast that this is kind of the direction it's going. And while everybody's entitled to their opinion, it's when they state it as fact, or that you could clearly tell that they don't know what they're talking about. You've been in radio for 35 plus years. You've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it. When you have a microphone, what's the level of responsibility that you have as quote unquote a journalist in the specific field to be accurate?
Yeah, obviously that line has been blurred over the years. As you see when you watch TV, is this guy a journalist right now, or is this just opinion? That's why I'm curious what you're talking about. Are the people on these podcasts, are they just like people that buy cards that are giving opinions based on fact about things that they don't know about? Should it be industry people giving these?
I'm okay with people giving
facts?
their opinions. I'm okay with it. But I have a problem with it. They say, this is what's going to happen, or, this is like one of the, I won't out them, but let me just say, one of the largest microphones out there's a podcast, and one of the hosts were talking about, this is a sports card podcast. And they're like, oh yeah. And, on the Viking game, when McCarthy pulled off that play, I thought that was pretty good. And the other co-host goes, McCarthy isn't playing. And he goes, are you sure? Like, yeah, the guy's torn ACL and he's out for the year. Of course, I'm sure. And he goes, well, I'll have to double check that. Like, why do you have a microphone when you don't know something as basic as, the guy's been out for the year. He's one of the autographed products in Panini. It's pretty clear that he's been out for the year and he's not going to play. And that's why Darnold, remember that Darnold guy that's been pretty good?
Hey, Darnold.
The reason why Darnold is playing is because the guy's been out. So when you have loud microphones saying things that are factually untrue, it's hard to take them to the worth of their advice. So if they're wrong on something, what else are they wrong about? And I've been wrong. Remember when I told you how much I believe the Ohtani ball would go for on the 50-50?
I'll never forget it.
Who could forget, as you say? And I think I guessed that it would be around 500,000, and it sold for like $4 million. I can't predict somebody's insanity. That's ridiculous that that ball went for that much, right? But somebody bought it for that price. And as we said earlier in the show, it's whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. Now, put yourself in a position to where now you're listening to a podcast and you're trying to decide where you're spending money. And we talked about this off air before we started today. When somebody is giving opinions about the Kings play or, you know, how the Niners fared this year, oh, I don't think Whitey's right, or I think Whitey's wrong, or whatever that is that they decide, it doesn't hurt anybody. Now, if they decide to bet, that's on their thing. But when you say things like, I would sell all of my this guy's cards, or I would pick up all of this guy's cards, or I would, you know, not buy this product, or this one I would definitely invest in. There's real money exchanging hands because of advice given by people that may not be as educated in a product or something. And that's dangerous. And I just don't like being of that responsibility.
That's caveat emptor. I mean, buyer beware. You got to be really careful.
Of course, do your own research. But a lot of people will do things because the voice that they're hearing. And let me just say this. I know you personally do not promote products that you don't personally use. You, Whitey Gleason. I can't speak for any other human on earth, but you're two that you run on ads on this station. You're a consumer of both of those.
Yes.
The grill and the garage door. So
anything with a G, I'm in.
Dub G will take anything G.
That's right.
Yeah. So I would just say that, like, listener beware.
Yeah.
Thanks for that input. I appreciate that, Whitey. That was your section to go in there and talk more about it. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess my inclination, as you describe it, is to defend the right of whoever it is that we're talking. And I think I know, but I respect that you don't want to, you know, out anybody. But that's to me, that's a given. Like, this person, if you're listening to this, they're going to give opinions. That's what they're paid to do. And they're going to be wrong sometimes, but that's on you. If you're going to assume that they know what they're talking about, a lot of that is on you as a listener.
If you don't know, as a card collector, that JJ McCarthy didn't play one snap this year, you're not paying attention to be investing in cards.
That's a red flag right there. Now, everything else that person says, I'm going to put through another filter because, wow, they didn't even know that.
Right. And you have to wonder, but he's an expert in non-sport. So you could tell that he's like a non-sport guy that's hosting a sports podcast and then giving opinions. And you're just like, I get it. You should probably just do what you do.
Yeah.
Go talk about Pokemon or Disney or anything else that you want to talk about, because that's what you're passionate about. And you've actually put some brain power to that. Leave the sports stuff to the guys that talk about sports. I have no issue telling people that I don't know much about Pokemon, but what I do know is I can read a slab, I can read a graded card and look that card up. I can do that. I'm pretty good at that. But as far as like what's the hot thing, and I have to rely on my specialists on my team with Ethan and Donovan, and I don't go out of my genre because I'm an expert when it comes to the sports card side, because I put the time and effort to learn about it.
Maybe you don't have an answer to this. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what are some outlets, be it, you know, print or online or podcasts, that you listen to when it comes to cards and you say, I know I'm going to get good information there?
I'm pretty fortunate. I have connections with people that are tuned into this industry that I just have direct conversations with, because as the two people here with a microphone on a very large radio station, we have a responsibility to know what we're talking about before we ever come on the show. So I will have back channel conversations with people and say, hey, Rob Veris over at Burbank Sports Cards, who has been a great friend and a good advisor to me when it comes to this show. I talked to him. This is a guy that transacts thousands of dollars of purchases every single day. This is a guy that will buy $50,000 to $80,000 worth of cards every day, put in a showcase for his customers to see for 24 to 48 hours. If it's not sold, he puts it online and now it's available. Who better to talk about what's selling and not selling than a guy that's doing that kind of numbers? So when we have Rob on our show, since you've been a co-host, we have not had Rob on the show, but Rob's been on the show 4, 5, 6 times.
He's on there.
He's like, forget it. I'm never going to get a word. I'm not going to get a word in. He has his own garage door sponsorship, and there would just be a conflict. It'd just be a conflict. So what I'm getting at is that you talk to people that know what they're talking about, and then you create the information out there to the world to let people know. And I've always been the source of a source, but not the source. What that means is Rob Veras told me XYZ, not XYZ.
Right.
So I want you to know where I got this from. So that way it's not just my opinion, but I'm getting it from somebody that's an expert also in this field.
Yeah. That kind of relates to something. I'll just go through this real quick because I know it's not card related, but
Christopher Ryan said something hilarious, which I'm going to tell you in a second. Go ahead.
A lot of Kings fans now, we're all following on the internet, all these trade rumors, and you just have to be really careful this time of year. Just try, if you can, when something comes out about this team's doing this or that guy's doing that, try to figure out, okay, who would say that? Where is that coming from? Because a lot of this is driven by agents. Some of them are just trying to increase demand for their client. And now you've got people reporting on this that they don't even care where it's from. If an agent says, so-and-so wants my guy, they're like, okay. They don't say, well, why would you say that? Can I trust you? It's like, all right. And it boop. And then the next, it's online. So be really careful.
It's really interesting because we take Shams as fact, right? Whenever Shams drops something, we treat it as fact. He probably vets it 6 ways from Sunday. So when Shams says something, it's a little different. Look at the Jimmy Butler situation, right? Shams reported something, then Jimmy's agent, no, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Come to find out it really was true what Shams said. So even the agents in the background now jumping, try to dispel something, Shams was correct.
Right. Yeah.
So when you look at something like that, you get more comfortable that Shams' reporting is more accurate than some Yahoo that's over at, XYZ
just
website.
Be careful. That's all. Just like you said, same when you're talking about listening to people giving card advice, just be careful.
You don't have to be careful if you're not buying or selling, right? You could just listen to it for your enjoyment. But when you take action, when you take actual dollars to doing something, you better vet the stuff backwards and forwards. And often, and this is the funny part about it, it's not funny, but it's funny to me a little bit, that somebody will come to me and they'll say, would you like to buy my cards? And we literally look up the cards together, right? What's the current value of the cards? And they'll look at it and I go, the card sold for 200. The last 4 times it's right around $200. I'll give you a percentage of that. That works for me. Oh no, I need 400. Well, why would you need 400? Well, I bought it for X, Y, and Z. Like that really has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Your let's not make 2 mistakes. There's already been one made by you buying that. I don't need to be the second mistake. Right. But when you say that you have to sell a card for because you don't want to lose on it, what you haven't realized is that you've already lost it. It's just a matter of you're willing to accept that loss and move on to the next thing, because it's all relative. I've been in real estate a long time. Oh, I'm going to wait till my house goes up. Well, guess what? Unless you're going to live in a tent after you sell that house, you're going to have to buy another one.
Right.
And it's all
That's a good
relative.
point.
So when the house goes up that you sell and you sell it for a max profit, you're also going to be buying a house that's gone up in value too. So you're going to be paying more for that house.
It is all relative. That's why you sell your house, go live with a relative. Then you make money.
That is, do you have a couch that I can borrow? Because if I sold our house and then left and said nothing, Jessica would leave me for sure. Yeah. So I want to make sure that they do that. Christopher Ryan, a hilarious take. He says in the YouTube chat, Whitey listens to several garage and grill podcasts a week to stay up on your expertise.
It's true. And they're all pretty good.
I got to tell you, they give some.
I'm
great
trying to get on
information.
those podcasts too. But yeah.
What is the sound of a grill makes? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, just nice and put that meat on there. Nice. It's a great grill. The Napoleon grill it's an exceptional grill.
I'm looking at the guys behind the window. Zero reaction to your grill.
No, I don't know how else to answer your question. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking more. Are these grills that you put coals into, charcoal into?
Not mine, not the Napoleon gas grill.
Oh, it's a gas grill.
Yes.
My goodness.
It's a tank, man. It's not heavy, but it's sturdy. Stainless steel.
And do you keep
They're
that?
built to last. Trying to remember my coffee points.
Do you keep it in the garage?
No, I have it under the overhang right outside the it's on the deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you opened your garage to pull out the grill to All right, so that is our goodbye music, and we'll leave you with this wonderful rendition of the card store
Yes.
by Whitey Gleason. We will see you at the card show today, Saturday. See you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Place satisfaction guaranteed with singles, boxes, and more. And if you're hungry, Chinese restaurant right next door to the card store. Talk about True Sports Card Store, yeah. Card Store. Talk about True Sports Card Store, yeah. With every card under the sun, you might find an old Doug Christie numbered 101. I tell you, Emron's always cool. There's always kids inside. Why aren't they in school? They're at the card store. Talk about True Sports Card Store, yeah. Card store. Talk about True Sports Card Store, yeah. Shop and shop. Doing vintage cards keep coming. Shop and shop. Keep cash register machines humming. Shop and shop. Every sport that you can name, with autographed jerseys in their Hall of Fame. Hey, come to True Sports Cards today. Draper thinks he don't have to pay. Drop off of your grade PSA. Shabby Bill and James at the card store. Talk about True Sports Card Store, yeah. Card store. Talk about True Sports Card Store, yeah.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were